Where do you feel like you've improved the most as you kind of head into the spring and throughout the off season?
I think I've improved the most in like my leadership skills, like because we got a lot of young guys coming in because it's spring, so it's late, and I feel like I've been a better leader on and off the field, and I've definitely grown in that area, in that aspect of football.
And how needed is that when you lose guys like Drew and Wyatt from last year's defensive line?
It's definitely needed. I mean, I had to step up because I was kind of like in the middle, like the middle leadership, and I had to step up and play a bigger role in the leadership and like taking young guys, not even just in my position group, but on the whole team and helping them through it. Because I mean, we've all been through it, and it's tough. But yeah, I had to step up, and definitely losing like Wyatt and Drew on the D line. And I mean, more people have to step up and be leaders.
Even just from a football standpoint, like how daunting is it thinking about trying to replace those guys? How tough is it to replace what they left for you?
I mean, those are pretty big shoes to fill, but we're gonna fill them. I think I'm completely certain we're gonna fill those shoes. So.
Appreciate it, Jaylen. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Derek.
Yeah, Jaylen, we've heard a little bit about Timothy Horn at defensive tackle so far. He's your new transfer. Is his game similar to yours, or do you guys kind of play a different style of ball inside?
I mean, I think we have some similar tendencies, I'd say.
Yeah, and then you talked about the leadership stuff. A lot of emphasis this offseason on culture. Did you feel like it needed to take a rapid improvement from last year, and has it happened yet?
Can you ask that again? My bad, I couldn't really hear you.
There's a lot of questions about the culture last year. How much do you guys think you've improved it so far this offseason?
I've seen great strides in our culture, to be honest. I feel like we all, like as a whole team, have like actually took that to the heart, took it to the chest, and we realized that we had to be better.
What's one more thing that you feel like you guys still have to accomplish this spring to consider it a success?
I'd say technique as a whole unit, group, offense, defense, just working on our techniques. That's what spring's for, is cleaning up techniques. And I feel like we all got to get a little bit better every day with our technique.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Kels.
What's the biggest fundamental coaches are preaching with you guys on the D line right now?
I don't know if this would be a fundamental, but we've been preaching aggressiveness off the ball, coming off the ball as hard as we can, and being more physical.
Has anybody caught your eye on the other side of the ball? Anybody really impressed on offense?
To be honest, the whole offensive line, they definitely made huge strides as a group. Because I mean, people wanted to say they were young last year, but I mean, that's not really an excuse for them, and they just kept working.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Yep.
Anything else? Go ahead, Karen.
Hey, Jaylen, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Great. Let me just ask you, like, what do you think the identity of this football team is? The first year you guys came out like gangbusters. Last year, it was COVID that was the gangbuster, and it was just keeping everybody on their heels. But as you head into a new season with some key veterans gone, but a couple veterans back, what do you think the identity of this team is?
Toughness. I mean, we went through a lot with COVID and everything. I mean, that's not an excuse, but toughness, definitely. I feel like we handled adversity pretty well throughout the season, and we just got to keep growing on that.
So what are your expectations then? I mean, have you guys talked about what you think is realistic, what you can do? Has that meeting happened?
Well, honestly, anything's realistic. I mean, if you just put the work in, we could do whatever we want, and it just depends on if everybody wants to do the same thing, win a national championship. That's just what we got to do. Everything's realistic.
I know we're still kind of in the pandemic era, but are things closer to normal than before?
Yeah, I mean, as a whole, like world, I feel like it is, but I mean, here we're still doing the same stuff. We have our masks on whenever we're in the building, but yeah, I mean, I'd say it's getting closer to normal here too. I mean, we're not as much worried about it. I mean, we're worried about COVID, but like, we're not as much like how we were, and we're just playing football now.
And with that, And you saw last year what COVID could do at the last minute, lose key people, maybe not have enough in certain, areas. And then you saw with the basketball team what a nightmare that turned out to be because different, COVID situations popped up. So is there a discussion on that, on how better to handle it this year now that you know what you know?
I mean, it's just next man up. If one person's out, the next man's got to be ready to do what they've got to do, and everybody's got to be prepared from 1 to 5 deep, because you never know. Next week you might lose 5 D tackles, and it's just is what it is right now. So I feel like we've just got to be better there. Next man up, and everybody's got to know that they can play at any given moment.
The accountability though, where you guys are saying, hey, the sacrifice we have to make to play. Maybe we won't go to this party, or maybe we'll kind of, any of those kinds of discussions as a veteran leader that you are now.
Can you repeat the question? The TV is not. You're not that loud on TV. Sorry.
Just the safety measures. How to things that maybe you're talking to the younger guys about.
Oh yeah, definitely sacrifice. I mean, on the weekends, college it's college, but like on the weekends we got to sacrifice, and then like during the weekday you can't just go hang out with your girlfriend or all your friends and stuff. I mean, you're on a football team. It's everybody's got to sacrifice for the team, because the team's bigger than one person.